This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Ranger the Solid are standing by. Caller 9-844-999. Ola will play profile this in minutes. And we do have your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check into Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, there's a couple in D.C. who went viral a while ago when the guy ate a Kit Kat by taking a giant bite out of the whole bar.
Yes, people lost their collective mind.
Yes, and when his girlfriend tweeted about it, everyone told her to dump him.
All right, that's because that's the litmus test on life.
Right. Well, she didn't, and what do you know? He proposed by putting a ring inside of a 3D printed Kit Kat.
I hope she said no.
Right?
Dump him because he's
3D gun shoot, right?
I made a 3D Kit Kat. Oh, yeah, you can make a 3D gun, yeah. 3D printed gun.
So why can't we make a 3D Kit Kat we could enjoy?
I think you could if you have the right materials, right?
All right.
So right now they use like resin and sawdust, but I think if you put in like wafer dust and chocolate and fired up the machine, man, you get a Kit Kat.
I'd ask him if like it was an edible one, but I know he's not working on it. And that's a weird question, isn't it?
I had a girlfriend who named hers that. So every time I hear
her vagina the Kit Kat. Like, don't name it after something people consume, man.
I didn't.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't my idea.
Like, I named my penis Lando Calrissian.
I think someone else.
But it's not something you eat. He was just in a movie.
The name of the place was there before I arrived.
Yeah, no, I understand, man.
I just showed up at this place.
Man, oh, man.
A barista at a Starbucks in Philadelphia apparently mocked a man's stutter last week by writing his name as Sam on his cup.
I saw that, man. It's like, goddamn, man.
Now the story's going viral, and Starbucks says that they fired that barista.
Look, I think to some degree, when you have a chain that goes all over the United States, all right, you have to understand that in some places, you're going to get the people who live in that area to work in those environments. If you could have this generic person in all those towns, then the United States wouldn't be unique. Like, look, if you're in Baltimore City and you go to a Starbucks location, it might be different than if you go to...
Your cup might say white boy.
Yeah, if you go to Philly... You know, like you might be like, oh, what the hell's that kind of foo-foo crap? You know, you might get a guy from Philly. So, like, I think to some degree you have to understand, depending on, it could be a Kentucky Fried Chicken, it could be anywhere. It could be a gas station. The people who live there, they're probably going to be like the people who live there.
That's exactly.
You know, like, I'm not trying to defend Starbucks. I'm just saying, like, goddamn, man, if you go into a Starbucks in Alabama, don't be surprised if the woman calls you sugar or honey. You know, like, oh, I can't believe she called me Sugar Bear. Like, shut up, dude. You're in Alabama.
But where do they write Sam? Because you have a stutter.
Well, you got to know.
Where is that place?
It's not
in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. That's what I'm saying. It's Philadelphia.
Never mind.
If you name one town where they're going to do it.
You're right. You're right.
Philly.
Oh, right.
I didn't realize.
I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying.
Don't be surprised.
When in Rome,
God.
look around.
Moving on. A man in Virginia
broke. Just write Phil Collins.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Oh. You think they cue that up? Studio.
Wow.
A man in Virginia broke into a Walmart.
Or George Thorogood. Bad. How's that song always play when I come in? I don't know, man.
A man in Virginia broke into a Walmart and huffed a bunch of cans of air freshener. Wait, it gets better. He tried to run away, but the cops found him passed out in front of the store.
Oh, he made it out the front door and dropped.
That guy, that
air
freshener. Those drugs weren't bad enough. He ran in, sucked him down, and then passed out.
Oh, man.
Bam. A drunk driver in Florida got pulled over and had so much drunk confidence that he demanded the cops search his car for alcohol.
And they did.
They did, and found a big gulp full of nothing but booze and ice.
Yes.
I just don't know why people do that, man. You know what? Search my car. Sir, we hadn't brought it up. No, search my car.
We had him on Profile This in our last episode, and the whole idea being that what black guy would ask for a search and seizure?
That guy.
That was
guy.
That was the
right there.
And now that's why you don't do it.
That was the curveball of the equation.
Mm-hmm. A 25-year-old woman in Alabama donated bone marrow a few years ago and saved the life of a little girl in California who she'd never even met. Then they finally got to meet last month after she asked her to be the flower girl in her wedding.
That's a good story.
Nice.
But listen,
It's the only one you're going to get today.
there's a better chance of me giving you bone marrow if I don't know you. You know what I mean? The people I know, I'm like, hell no, I'm not giving Gerard bone marrow.
I will give you my bone marrow.
Walmart just released their stats on which product is selling better in every state this year between hamburgers and hot dogs.
I would have to think hamburgers wins that nationwide, right? You're not
Hamburgers,
working on it.
Ted,
This year, I'm going to say hot dogs.
hot dogs, Thrill.
Say hot dogs if there's a heat wave.
Hot dogs if there's a heat wave. It says 41-9. I'm not working on it.
41.
It's hamburgers.
It is hamburgers.
Oh, damn it, Mike.
Because
I know
there's,
it's right in front of you.
there's a million hamburger places out there.
You know
now.
what? That's
and
right,
they're
right,
really
right.
making good hamburgers. I will give it. Anytime a new hamburger place comes out and I haven't tried it, I'll go there.
Right,
And
there's
they're
not a
normally-
lot of hot dog
they're
joints.
normally good hamburgers. But if I do go to a place and they have a hot dog, kind of tempted to get the hot dogs. It's so
But
rare.
you still get the burger.
You know, like a Sonic. Yeah. But I'll get a hot dog at a place that has a hot dog.
According
I feel like there's more like restaurants have sausages.
Right.
And,
But not
you know
a
what I
hot
mean?
dog.
Like, because a lot of restaurants, all restaurants, like basically sell a cheeseburger or a burger. So like, you don't see hot dog on the menu, but you'll
But they
see
do a
like
sausage.
a bratwurst, or
There you go.
men's room original sausage.
Yeah.
Yes. According to a new study, almost half of people say they secretly wish they could sleep in separate beds just to get a better night's sleep.
Oh, I thought they meant themselves personally. Like, I wish my legs were in one bed and my
Ah,
torso in the other.
That would be decadent.
Like an
I have a
NBA,
second bed for my head.
like an NBA player has to push two beds
Right.
together.
let's see. Which would you rather have, a slice of cake or a cupcake?
Depends
Cupcake.
on the flavors, man.
Cupcake? Anybody else?
Slice of cake because it's moist.
It's not probably cupcake. Yeah.
Oh man, sheet cake living. I'm telling you, sometimes a cupcake is just a little too crunchy on the outside. Remember back to the muffin?
Oh, for God's sakes.
I'm telling
It's
you,
a
sheet
cupcake.
cake.
It should have a little crunch.
Cake is good, man. You forget how good cake
Cake is good. No, we don't forget how good cake is.
Cake is delicious.
It's cake.
No,
What is
it's
your
better than-
obsession
It's just
now with
known for
store-bought
being
cake?
good.
Sheet cake.
That's all
Store-bought
cake is.
sheet cake is so good, so moist. I don't know. It's not that I'm not a fan of the cupcake. You can get crazier with a cupcake. You can put
Sure.
bacon on it. And they don't really do that with a sheet cake. Sheet cake they've kind of left alone.
Right, right.
Look,
Pretty
some
plain.
hipster trends are worth it.
Do you think they're going to bring
Like
in the
good
hipster?
coffee and like the fancy cupcake shops.
Well,
Keep it
Miles,
up.
about 70% of the population's with you. They
Cake
like it's
over
over the slice of
cupcakes?
cake. Absolutely. They want the slice of cake.
But you know what else I like about the cupcake? It's mine.
Right. There's no chance you have to share that.
Right.
You know
like
what I
a
mean?
slice
Right.
of cake. Could I have a piece? Like, should have ordered your own.
But they also hand you a slice. They have it on a plate, like someone's cutting it. Like, let me cut my own piece.
I don't want to go down a wormhole, but I'll
Because
just say
I don't
this.
like the
At
icing
weddings,
sometimes.
if there's cake, there's a lot of leftover cake.
Right.
But if you have cupcakes, people take those things home with
You
them.
know what? Good call.
I've never taken a piece of cake home.
A man in western Pennsylvania was arrested after he tried to give cops a fake name,
What was that?
but his real name was tattooed on his neck.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
His name was Killer? I think you have a tattoo on it's got to be a nickname.
Why would you tattoo your own name underneath? Well, in case you forget.
I've been really proud of my name.
Who am I again?
Then I get tattooing it somewhere on your body with your neck.
A new survey found the top-ranked fast food joint for the third year in a row.
McDonald's.
Any other guesses?
Burger King.
I'm going to say Taco Bell.
Neither of you are even close. Chick-fil-A.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. People love Chick-fil-A.
They do.
They do.
It's like a whole cultural thing, too, especially like in the South and everywhere.
It's chick frickin' filet.
It's a cult. That's what it is. It's a cult
It
of
is.
chicken eaters.
I think the free chicken day's coming up if you dress like a cow.
Ooh,
A
boy.
man in Albuquerque got caught with his pants down outside of school and tried to claim he was just hot and was trying to, quote, get a breeze.
They call me the breeze.
boys.
You know, maybe if you were laying like in a secluded part of a park,
Right.
but you're outside of school pantsless.
It's just, look, even if you're dying of heat stroke, don't get undressed there.
I've got an excuse for this.
Just almost anything you do, you add outside of a school, and it's bad.
Right.
Bad thing. A woman's Tinder profile sparked a heated debate, and it had nothing to do with her.
What's that?
I'll tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are on the way 1 hour from now. First, the game is...
The Men's Room presents Profile
And
This.
Steven Thrill Hill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Alex, you understand how the game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. Here is your story. What they're calling a curious teenager had to have surgery to remove a phone charger that he inserted up his urethra. And then it got knotted in his bladder. The doctor at the hospital said, quote, he cut off one end of the cable and inserted it into his urethra. They added the cable reached his bladder where it tangled and ended up in a knot. So when he tried to pull it back out, it became stuck. Well, the doctor and her team had no choice but to operate on the boy. Now, his concerned parents took him to a local hospital initially. That's where medics applied lubrication in a bid to pull the cable out. However, when that proved unsuccessful and caused intense pain for the teenager, that's when he was transferred to Harbin Children's Hospital the next day, and that's where the successful surgery was completed to remove a phone charger from a curious teen's penis. My question is, do you believe the Curious George here is black, white, Mexi, or Asian?
Oh, but I hate to say it, but it seems like an awfully white thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm white. Stuck my penis in silly putty once.
Yeah, but that's different, man. Like, putting your penis in silly putty is ridiculous, but it's not putting something inside of your, you know what I mean? Like, that's next level, brother.
Oh, boy.
I don't know why. You said Asian was a choice, right?
Yes.
Yes.
That's where I'm leaning.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of stuff. Two reasons. There's stories. They get
Putting phone chargers in the penis.
I'm not trying to say that, but I mean...
And then, like, stereotypically, right?
I'm saying it, so I... You know.
They know they have phone chargers in their penis.
It's a phone charger. It's technology.
Oh. All right, Alex.
I mean, we've heard stories.
That's why we have the terrorists. Phone chargers in the penis.
Alex, do you have another theory there that you're working on, or are you going to stick with Ted?
I still think I'm going to go with white.
White final answer, huh?
Final answer.
All right, we're going to find out if he was black, white, Mexican, or Asian next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, to profile this, we have a curious teenager, and he had his phone charger there for his phone, and he took the cord and he jammed it up his urethra pretty far.
Yeah, it got tangled up in his bladder, in fact.
That's deep. Either way, they took him to a medical center, and they tried to lube up that cord and yank it out of him, but
nope.
Yeah, wouldn't come out. So then they took him to a children's hospital, and medics actually operated on him. And basically what they did is they filleted it right down the middle, and they were able to remove the charger from his urethra.
So just keep this in mind, kids. Don't put phone chargers in your penis. But, Alex, we asked you, did you believe that this guy was black, white, Mexi, or Asian? And you went white.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. He was, in fact, Asian.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, very good. Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, Armageddon. The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
So you know how, like, I'm just going to be honest. Do you know how long weddings take now?
Yes.
Right? And they take forever, right? Because you got to have the first look. You got to have this. You got to have 4 speeches. Sorry, I'm salty about this one.
Yeah, dude.
The best man gives a speech.
It's really getting longer?
Yes, because it used to be like traditionally it's always the best man gives a speech, right?
Right.
And then I get the maid of honor giving a speech.
Okay,
like,
then we're
I've been to
done.
weddings where like the dad's giving a speech, like this person. It's
They can't. Just don't expect people are going to listen if the bar's open and people are eating.
yeah.
Maybe
Well,
that's just us.
well, I will say this: I've been to weddings where they close the bar during dinner and stuff, and I mean it is horrible. Nobody dances like
these people?
Yeah,
Who
man.
are these
Come
people?
on.
I don't know. If you're smart,
We don't want to
I'm
be
in.
there anyway. Give us booze.
I'm bringing a flask.
So I haven't seen this trend yet, but you know what I say when the first look, where it's supposed to be like the guy has shown up to the venue and he's never seen her and she's standing by the water and she turns around and it's like reaction. So this seems to be the same kind of thing. All right, this couple has just gotten married.
Jesus.
I like the guy because he's drinking a cold beer, maybe a brand I've had before. So they're kind of just doing an interview, and then you'll hear like something going wrong, and then the sound you'll hear is a giant branch almost killing them.
Wow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Keep it short.
The video is up at the Men's Room Facebook page. Now, 2 things you need to pay attention to. Number 1, when you watch it, and I just showed Ramen this, there's a guy in the back down by like the lake, and he turns to help, and he trips, which is kind of funny.
He's probably very glad you picked that up.
And then the other thing is, like, they just got married. And when that sound starts, the groom looks up and then takes off. and she's deeper down the bench. Like, I just feel like he should have grabbed her hand or
it's every man for
something.
themselves. So death do his part. If you die, I'm out. I'm done.
Mike and I watched it today, and I was like, does that seem like he just bailed?
Now, how many people do you think came up to him and said, hey, man, don't worry about it. A tree branch almost crushing on your wedding day is good luck.
That can't be. That has to be bad luck.
No,
everything's good luck.
Yeah, I mean, 50% of the time it's not going to work out anyway, so you already are faced with that.
You were attacked by a hive of bees? That's good luck on your wedding day. Wait a minute. Your wife was partially mauled by a grizzly bear.
Trees are no joke, man. They killed a couple guys watching fireworks on the 4th of July. Tree just fell in the middle of the thing. So, but you hear a crack, loud sound. It's fireworks.
Right.
People are like, oh, and it took them a little while to figure out what just happened.
Dude, you ever been like kind of near some woods and you hear one? And it is frightening.
It is weird.
Because you're just like, what is that? Then you hear that giant crash. And it's like, oh, man. Glad we didn't set up a tent over there.
Mm-hmm. No. Like the Boy Scouts over there, man.
Yeah,
12 came in, 3 left.
Sticking with some good stories here. Man, I read the wrong line here. First, let's go to another silly, sad story.
Oh, silly, sad story. Is it silly or is it sad?
Well, it's silly, sad. Because you feel bad for the guy, but you respect his professionalism.
Okay.
So basically, this guy is calling... waiting all day to say this. He's calling a game for a minor league team called the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Oh, absolutely. They play in one of the greatest conferences, mascot-wise and name-wise, in probably the United States.
All right, so the Jumbo Shrimp are a minor league team.
Yes.
So the guy, right, so there's no video of this, number 2. But number 1, you got to understand, this guy wants to be a sports announcer. All right? So his computer, his laptop is very important to him. I can guarantee you this is not his full-time job. Like, he has to do something else, but he stayed professional.
Righty on lefty, first pitch by Duval. Swing, and that's fouled straight back and off my computer. Oh, my goodness. That just happened. So my computer is completely cracked. I tried to put my hand up and stop the baseball, and it went straight back, and now that one almost came back. And this just became one of the worst days I have had in quite some time.
Oh, no.
My goodness. Nothing in 2 on Walsh. I do not believe that just happened.
What he says is one of the worst days he's had.
Oh, my goodness.
But I like how he's still broadcasting.
All my porn's on there.
This is one of the worst days of my life.
An extensive collection.
All right.
Adult entertainment. It just got ruined. I didn't back up anything.
Right? Or, I mean, I'm willing to like bet money that his whole radio career at this point was on that computer.
Oh,
maybe it was.
This is awful.
I don't need this cloud thing. Why do I need to sign up for the cloud, right?
Man, oh man.
They'll just steal my information.
And your nudes.
I just lost all the pictures of my children. This is great. Swing and a miss.
Right. Ready on lefty, and they just crushed my life.
That German porn is hard to get.
In all fairness, I'm assuming that having the part-time job or the guy who replaces somebody if they're sick or whatever, radio or TV, they're not paying a lot of money.
That's right. That's what I started out saying. Like,
$2,200 laptop,
minor league baseball.
Right. He's doing this because he wants to do it.
They did not give him a laptop and said, "Here, use this for the job."
Right.
He went and got one.
I mean, if you've ever been around a minor league baseball team, a sizable amount of their staff in the summertime is just interns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And not only that,
I mean, I'm sure he's getting paid something, but it can't be a ton.
Look, there's a couple ways people call games. You could have the old Vin Scully way where you're an old guy, you're going to spin some tails, you're going to talk a little bit, you'll bring it back to baseball, but he still has the facts, all those things. And when you're doing sports, when you're doing live play-by-play, that stuff is very important because in baseball, there's a lot of time to kill, and you have a lot of things that you can potentially talk about it. Like, well, he's, batting .230, but his on-base percentage is .564. Because you have all these numbers and all this stuff that's on your computer, and you need all this stuff.
Have you guys watched baseball, like, on ESPN or lately?
Bits and pieces. Not a full game.
I will give them credit. Like, well, I don't like A-Rod. But to their credit, if he's not in the booth working, like, it seems like they've really loosened it up. Like,
sure.
one night,
I agree with that.
Who's the guy that always does the Baltimore accent? Tim Kirchin with Scott Van Pelt?
Not sure yet.
Oh, yeah.
And they always go back. I just watched Van Pelt do this to him the other night. And again, it's funny to me because I'm from that area. I don't know if it does anything for anybody. Kirchin is dying. I mean, he can barely breathe. But one night I was watching just a random game, and Kirchin's in the booth, and he just starts going off about little things that annoy him. Like, technically, it's not retiring the side if it's not the first 3 batters or this or that. But and the game was going on. But for me, I was like, I kind of like this better.
Yeah, because you know what?
You never go like compelling.
Yeah, you never go like, well, I thought his on-base percentage was actually 337.
Right, that's not a conversation.
Like, like, okay, it's trivial. You hear it, but all you're assuming is this guy's good at getting on base. All you really have to say is this guy's good at getting on base. Moving on.
And with baseball, it just takes forever. I mean, just the pace of the game itself is slow.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I think let those guys chat for... I mean, years ago, on TBS, the guys that used to do the Braves games, like, they were kind of famous because they were actually, like, kind of funny, too, and told stories, and people love those two guys.
The only time they would interrupt each other is be like, ball 3 to Davis.
Right, and that was the least exciting part to listen to.
You continue, they break in, and you're like, all accounts for 3 and 2,
Right,
count.
and when you watch, the NFL or something, like... They have so much time to fill, too. Like, sometimes, I wish they could just BS about something, but it's always like, you got to be really crazy about this last play and break down the entire replay.
But that's the exact point. When you're watching
35
football,
seconds,
it's so much more important to them to convey to you the analytics of the game.
Right.
Where in baseball, if you're good, you tell the story of the game. And you tell the story of the game, whether it's when you played or all that stuff. But you could sprinkle in a little bit of football, but people really want to know their X's and O's.
Kind of. But look, in football, you're going to get 35 seconds between plays, right? So if you're going to start doing some witty anecdote, basically it's going to get, that's all. I mean, that's all it is.
Yeah.
Unless it's one of those boring games or like some games are so bad in the NFL, you'll realize that they just break out of it and 8 plays will have happened and they won't have called it. They know there's nothing to talk about. It's amazing.
I mean, isn't that how John Madden kind of got famous? I mean, I know he was a football coach and won.
Oh yeah, he just talked during.
But he would just talk during the things, right? And people loved it.
Sure, it'd be like 4th and 19. He's like, they're going to punt. I'm going to keep talking.
Also, it's interesting with the NFL. I should mention, last year people talked about their ratings are down, this and that, Lord. Right? But honestly, and I always say this, right? Like they are so far ahead, it'll never matter. The main reason, the NFL, I want to say, lost 17% viewers or something, but almost every other thing lost 25%.
Of course.
Because people are watching Netflix. People are watching shows on Hulu or Amazon.
Yeah, but those shows don't count.
Right. So a lot of it just with the NFL is still a behemoth monster.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just there's more stuff to watch on TV. Let's see. You guys remember the Ali G show?
Oh, yeah. Loved it.
9999 So Sacha Baron Cohen.
There you go.
I know.
He's back.
I still
He's
can't
back.
say it. I kind of wish he had left.
Right, I know.
Because I hate his name. I just can't say it.
Yeah.
That's why I hate it.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
If you say it angry, you can say it.
So this guy, he's probably coming back to TV. Again, they're not positive what he's going to do, right? But it might be a show like that. Because Ali G, Borat, and Bruno, he said, look, I got to retire them. They're way too recognizable.
You can't do what he does if you know what he's going to do.
Right.
That takes away from the whole point of him being in character.
Yeah.
Because his whole point is for you not to know it's him in whatever character he's in. So if you go, dude, I'm going out as a rhino. I'm dressed with a rhino hat on. Everyone's like, Sacha Baron Cohen. Because they know. But if not, he goes out as a rhino and people go like, there's a rhino.
Yes, that is a great analogy.
You get what I'm saying. Whatever his character is, like
a rhino.
If he tells them what it is,
he's going to be a two-legged rhino.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he said talks with Showtime to distribute the new series. There's no... Basically, he released a promo a few days ago that was just 30-second video of President Trump insulting him, followed by the Trump University logo.
Right.
So I'd have to imagine he's been doing this for a couple of years now, and we just haven't known about it?
Oh, sure.
Could be.
Right? There was also a report earlier this year that Cohen had paid O.J. Simpson to appear in some kind of project with him.
Oh, no.
But there's no word on anything to do with that
man.
show. Also, if you don't remember, he called, it was all funny. But, I mean, he would have serious heads of state and stuff on his show, on the Ali G show.
Oh, yeah.
And interview him. And, I mean, people used to get kind of worked up about it.
Not only that, but you remember in Borat, man, that even with the Pamela Anderson thing at the signing or whatever, that was one of the big things with Kid Rock and one of the reasons that they kind of got a divorce real quick.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what's the deal?
Well, something happened, man, and I don't remember the context of it, but it was in
the movie, he chased her down the beach or something.
But when the movie came out, they were good and well divorced.
Okay,
because that had been filmed a long time before that, but you found out after the fact that had something to do with an argument that they had about I don't know what to do, but her management team or how she was set up, or in other words.
So wait, was she pissed or was Kid Rock pissed?
I don't remember what how it went down, but that was
a hell of a story.
Well, no, but whatever it was a conflict.
The fact that Borat's involved makes it wonderful.
Right, exactly. Like, how did you get involved in? Not that would have lasted. It's not that, but that was like
right. I'm a betting man.
That was kind of a trigger for them to say like the hell with
Borat, the Borat trigger.
Right.
This is definitely kind of funny news. Jersey Shore cannot film in Seaside Heights anymore. Seaside Heights said no.
They're going down to Red Bank now.
Oh, no. You know where they're going.
Where?
I went there as a child. Wildwood.
Oh, no kidding. Well, at least they have rides.
Wildwood is on the Jersey Shore, and there's like an old lady beach next door called Ventnor. So my grandma always went to Ventnor, and I remember we spent not even like a day in Ventnor. And my dad was like, we're going to Wildwood. We're getting all the rides.
Is it just old people sitting on the beach?
Yes, it's Victorian homes. It's, like everybody's got a purple or pink house. It's one of those deals.
Yeah, and the boardwalk is literally just a boardwalk. There's no there's no fries, there's no popcorn, there's none of that stuff.
It's one speed bike town. You know what I mean?
Right.
I just think it's funny that they kicked them out of Seaside Heights.
I can believe that. Well, like, hey, man.
They've already seen that movie.
But they've also, they've gotten older. Like, some of them have kids and stuff. Like, can they be that great?
Yeah, this is a money grab. This is a money grab, and they're trying to get as much as they can one last time.
I think
how many
want
times
their
can
name
they do this?
Sometimes when you watch local news, certain reporters, it's almost like they're trying to scare you, especially about your children. When John Oliver does a good job of putting together a bunch of clips, and it sounds frightening.
It is a teen trend doctors fear may be headed to Kansas City.
Well, teens chugging hand sanitizer to get drunk.
Here's a new trend among teens that you should really hear about. It involves putting lip balm on your eyelids.
Teens drinking bleach to pass a drug test.
For some reason, kids are snorting Smarties.
Smoking Smarties.
It's called eye dosing.
Fence plowing.
The overnight challenge.
The hot quill challenge.
This may be the first time you're hearing about boozy bears.
Eating cotton balls to lose weight.
Teenagers snorting condoms.
Lisa, just 2 years ago, it's hard to believe, we were talking about a different condom challenge where people fill a condom with water and then have someone else drop it on their head.
Some kids are so desperate, they're doing their own dangerous dental work.
What the God damn.
I know, man. I listened to that. I was like, that does sound frightening.
Live, local, late breaking.
I can tell you the big issue that I heard about with teenagers is they're all juuling.
Juuling? Oh, yeah, juuling.
I don't even know.
It's basically like a disposable vape pen. I had never heard of it, but then I hung out with my niece and nephew, and my sister was like, you know, they're people are juuling. And I'm like, what the hell is juuling? But it's just like a brand.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, look, and I know people freak out about it. When I was growing up, obviously we didn't have, vape cigarettes. So they were smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Which is a lot worse than vaping.
It's the same thing at a different time. Right. Or they'd be smoking cigarettes.
By the way, my whole thing with the juuling was I was just like, is it, because then I'm looking at my niece, she's 15. She'll be 16 in a few months. Right. And I was like, Maddie, is everybody doing this? And she's like, no. Right. She's like, it's just a couple kids got caught, and now, everybody in the high school, it's like, they're all drooling.
Yeah, not everybody in high school is dealing weed. Or whatever And
that's a damn shame, but it's true.
Yeah. No, just that one dude.
There is always one dude.
Yeah. Sells weed. Mm-hmm. I don't know how it is. They used to have fake IDs.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, usually that guy could get you anything else you needed.
In high school.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
I was just your porn hookup, but everything else, there's a guy.
Steve helps me beat off.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, dude, I got a guy bust 10th grade, right? So I was the porn dealer, and I brought in some samples to see if the guy wanted to buy it. It is English class, and the kid sits behind me, all right? So it was either Club International or High Society magazine, which is fairly filthy. I dig it, but fairly filthy. So Miss Jessup, our English teacher, is walking around the room. We're supposed to be doing classwork or something. I don't know, but I can feel her kind of standing behind me. When I turn around, she's standing behind this dude. So she doesn't know the magazine's mine. She thinks it's his. She's standing behind him, looking over her shoulder. He doesn't know it. And it is like the filthiest girl-on-girl thing going on. And he slowly looks over his left shoulder, sees her, man, and just drops his head in shame. She calls him back. So, yeah, he got in trouble. She got my magazine. And he's like, well, man, I didn't tell her it was yours. I'm like, look, I don't care about that, dude. You got busted looking at that.
You got to pay for it, though.
That is yeah, he paid for that, for sure.
Yeah, it's always embarrassing when you get looking at the bad stuff.
Oh, yeah. I felt for him. I really felt for him.
I was talking about Netflix earlier and how popular it is. A new survey asked people what platforms they use the most to view content on TV. Netflix was number one.
Yeah.
Basic cable finished second with 20%, followed by broadcast, and then YouTube. But traditional methods, basically, for the 18 to 34 crowd, 40% of them choose Netflix, and then number 2 was YouTube.
Really?
Then cable, Hulu, and broadcast TV. That's amazing.
Watch the kids.
Yeah,
watch what the
basically.
kids
That's
do.
where it goes.
Watch what the kids do. My kids don't know when any TV shows come on. They watch them when they want to, for the most part. American Idol and a couple others that come on, they try to watch them live, but any other time they watch, basically, they'll watch the network shows. They just watch them when they want to.
It's like sliced bread, man. You could get bread before, but once they made a slice, everyone buys it. It's convenient. It's easy.
And you could watch me drink a beer on Twitch tonight.
Oh, nice.
I'm kidding.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I
really
see that
can't.
people are always like, join me on Twitch. I think, isn't that just watching other people game?
Could be.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
know.
asking us?
Yeah, if we Twitch.
It'd be something different for me.
I Twitch when Steve gives me that porn. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. Mike's got your headlines coming up here in just a few minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Florida man tells cops he really liked resisting arrest because it was like being on a TV show. Meanwhile, Arizona man thinks it's okay to play strip poker with young girls, and to jail he will go. Minnesota teen gets his license, then drives car into a huge sinkhole. Poachers sneak into game reserved for rhinos, and lions eat their soul. And a woman is toilet paper shamed on Tinder. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my call.
All right, our top story. A woman on Tinder has sparked a massive heated debate based on her profile picture. This picture portrays the woman in her own bathroom wrapped in a towel, a shower cap on her head, and she's brushing her teeth with an electric toothbrush. But, being the internet, people completely ignored her and looked instead at the way that she hung her toilet paper on the roll.
All right.
Having the roll facing towards the back instead of the front. Which ignited the ancient argument of which way is proper to hang your toilet paper.
Well, it depends. If you have a cat, the way she did it is right.
That's it. That's exactly right. That's the only thing that I can think of.
I have a cat and I do it the right way, so...
I always did it the wrong way, and I was like, it doesn't matter. It's how you like it, blah, blah, blah. But then I read, like, either the inventor of, like, toilet paper or something was like, no, it goes this way.
Yeah.
Clearly.
So they're giving a grief for having it up the correct way?
No, it is not on the correct way.
It is not the correct way, okay.
Yeah, it's facing, like you said, the correct way for a cat.
That's for a cat. What if she has a cat?
I have a cat and I don't do it that way.
Oh,
it works
okay.
just fine. Train your cat to not roll the freaking toilet paper.
I trained my cat to find me drugs at the neighbor's house.
There you go. In other news, an interesting story out of Florida. Police responded to a call about a drunk man chasing a woman with a golf club. They found him outside of the house drunkenly shouting at the residents. The man tried to walk away from the officer but was stopped when the officer moved in to arrest him. While the officer was cuffing the man, he began to tense and struggle to get away before going limp and giving himself up. While being led to the squad car, the man said that he'd enjoyed resisting arrest because it felt like he was on live PD.
Okay.
He was charged with resisting arrest and disorderly conduct.
You know, you said that happened in Florida.
Yes.
Miles, I think you'll probably attest to this. If I'm a cop and you say, hey, man, there's a guy in Florida chasing a woman with a golf club, I feel like when I get to the scene, it can be one of 18 people.
And Tiger Woods.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, that just seems like the Florida thing.
I thought they were already broken up.
Yeah.
It's another episode of Man vs. Beast. For this edition, we go to South African Game Reserve, where a group of rhino poachers chose a bad night to poach some rhinos. A ranger at the reserve stumbled across the remains on a couple of pairs of shoes, an axe, and gloves near a pride of lions.
There we go, Team Beast.
Score one for nature.
Actually, what it is, those lions are they're illegal because they're human poachers.
Ah.
Yeah.
Can we get more of those lions in Africa? You know
I'd
what I
love
mean?
it.
Can we train more of those?
This picture even looks like they're all laughing.
God, man, every time I see one of those people who've like shot a giraffe or just a big game animal sitting there smiling, it's always some just white idiot. I'm like, stop.
That's it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the return of the random question. Your guess is as good as mine, and we'll drink and toast with a shot of the day.
Yes, indeed. It's all true, but in the meantime, we be all about this. Yeah. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Letha's sake, stay beautiful.